Reading with your kids.
Hey, so great to see you. You are looking marvelous today. Hi, my name is Jadley, and this is the Reading with Your Kids podcast, coming to you from the beautiful Reading with Your Kids studios and the amazing community of Reedville in Boston. We want to thank you so very much for being with us today. We have a wonderful show for you today. Our guest is the author of The Power of Piggie Bear. Her name is Mara James. Hey, for all the authors that are listening out there, I wanted to share with you this great email that we received here at the Reading with Your Kids podcast from Dr. Linda Mubarak. She is a past guest and the author of Maxine's New Job. Here's the email. Dear Fatima and Jed, good news! Maxine's New Job has been nominated to receive the prestigious Henri Award at the 2018 Christian Literacy Awards for Outstanding Literacy Work in the Children's Book Division. I sincerely believe your certifying Maxine as a great read helped bring increased social media attention to the book. Thank you for the exposure and the great marketing. We are so happy for Dr. Linda Mubarak that her book, Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read, Maxine's New Job, received this prestigious recognition. We would love to help your book receive that same kind of recognition. If you are interested in having your book considered for our Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read program, please visit our website, readingwithyourkids.com. You can click on the contact button, send us a note, and we'll send all the information back to you, or you can go right to our Certified Great Read page on our website. It's fun, it's easy, and it is really an effective way to let the world know that your book stands out above all the rest. The Reading with the Kids Certified Great Read program. Joining us right now from Orange County in California, she is the author of an empowering book for kids called The Power of Piggie Bear. Please welcome to the show, Mara James. Mara, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm excellent. Happy to have you on the show. And this is, I think this is a really important book. Why don't you tell us about The Power of Piggie Bear?
Okay, we'll do. Well, Piggie Bear teaches children some really important tools. One of them is not to judge others. Piggie Bear says that sometimes people think Piggie Bear looks like a pig. Some people think Piggie Bear looks like a bear, but it doesn't matter what people think because Piggie Bear is perfect the way Piggie Bear is, and so are children. Piggie Bear also teaches children how to identify emotions and how to do deep belly breathing in a fun way to help calm their emotions. She teaches them empowering words that's I am amazing, and so the children can manifest positivity in their life. And Piggie Bear also teaches the self-hug. We call it Piggie Bear self-hug, which actually could release oxytocin and decrease depression.
Wow.
And lastly, and Piggie Bear teaches children that they are never alone, that Piggie Bear is with them in their heart wherever they go. And this book is also great for adults too.
Yeah, I imagine it is. There are a lot of adults who need those messages. Certainly, there are a lot of adults that need those kind of empowering messages that, they're never alone and that they're pretty amazing just the way they are. But also, a lot of adults need to be reminded that others are pretty amazing the way they are and not to be so quick to judge.
Oh, absolutely. It's very hard with being human, and I'm not judging others, but it's so important.
Yeah.
Just to appreciate everybody for where they are and their limitations and their gifts.
So where did the inspiration to create The Power of Piggie Bear come from?
Well, that's an interesting question. So to give you a brief little history, 4 years ago at the age of 48 years old, I experienced a manic episode and was diagnosed bipolar. It was also my spiritual awakening. And during that time, I found this stuffed animal and I was walking around saying, power the pig, pig's going to heal the world. And, my husband and my family were horrified. And then after about a year and a half of going through holistic healing and being weaned off of my medication, I then felt the need to write. And I told my healers I felt the need to write something about this pig. And she told me it was going to be a children's book. And I just knew that resonated with me. When I showed the pig to somebody, that the one I originally found, they said, oh, it looks more like a bear than a pig. And I said, perfect. We're going to call it Piggie Bear. And whether it's a pig or bear, a boy or girl, it doesn't matter because it's going to be perfect and let's not judge. And then after that, just different ideas kept coming to me, things that I was learning on my healing journey that I thought was really important. Like when I used to take a deep breath, I used to do it to my chest. I didn't know that that was actually increasing anxiety. So through yoga, I learned to breathe deeply to my belly, and that actually would calm the nervous system.
That's fascinating. I know that when I was an athlete and we would breathe, intentionally just to kind of chill us out and to get our breath back. We would do those deep belly breaths. But I wasn't aware of any kind of mental health benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, it just really helps calm the system and slow us down and to be in the moment.
Fascinating. Tell me, why do you think some children are afraid of expressing their emotions and feelings?
Well, I think that the way society is, a lot of adults don't express their emotions, and they're not taught to do that in school. And sometimes if they express their emotions, and they're scared that the parents might not accept them, and what they're going through. And it's really important that we encourage children to express their emotions, because when you hold it, you're holding it actually an energy, and it's not healthy. We need to get it out, especially, it's one thing if you're happy, but if it's a negative emotion, and it's something very important to get out, and to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Now, my wife is a teacher, and while I definitely agree with you, but that it's important for kids to express their emotions. But are you advocating that kids just kind of get it, just blow it out there whenever the feelings come, or do they need to learn how to? I need to go down and talk to the counselor right now, as opposed to just kind of blasting out in the middle of class.
Right. Oh, no, definitely they have to be more mindful, and just, if they're feeling something, first to calm themselves down, because when you're feeling something, don't ever talk out of that, energy when you're angry. And then once they calm themselves down, then they think about who they can talk to, whether it's a teacher later on, whether it's somebody, at their school, it's somebody at their home, or it's some adult that they can speak to that they feel comfortable with, just talking about the emotions, but definitely not in the midst of it, kind of getting through it. And then afterwards.
Yeah. Really important to kind of know where and to find somebody that's safe to kind of share those emotions with.
Absolutely. And, another child their age, usually it needs to be an adult. Children don't always understand other children. And sometimes some might make fun of them or not keep a secret. So it's definitely better to find somebody that's older than them that they can confide in.
What was the experience like? Because you were coming through a very difficult period in your life when you began this project. Was this creating the Power of Piggie Bear, was that part of your healing process?
Absolutely. And what was the amazing part is, Build-A-Bear created a prototype for us, and we're raising funds to get that out to children that need the bear in the book. But during my healing process, I'll admit there are some nights that I was holding Piggy Bear's stuffed animal so tight and would fall asleep holding it, because definitely helping me to feel more loved. And, because healing could be a scary process. I mean, afterwards it's beautiful, but definitely, when you're experiencing some scary emotions and feeling that love and acceptance, even from a stuffed animal, is amazing.
Yeah, and it is hard. It's, kind of like when we're trying to get, for adults, when we're trying to get back into shape, those first steps on the treadmill, or when we're on the running path, or the first few kind of pedals on the bike, they can be so difficult. But if we kind of work through that pain, becomes a wonderful experience.
Absolutely. And there are days I would, look in the mirror and open my arms like Piggy Bear and say, I'm amazing, and then give myself a hug. And I kind of had to convince myself, because there's some voice in my head that was telling me otherwise. And I had to kind of override that and remind myself, because sometimes we get caught up in past habits and we need to really break through those.
Tell me about this self-hug and how we do it and also how it works. You said that releases some
Oxytocin.
Yeah, oxytocin.
Yeah,
How does that work?
After 20 seconds of a hug, either to yourself or a stuffed animal or to somebody else, oxytocin is released, which is a very relaxing hormone. But if you just take your arms and wrap them around your shoulders, and if you try that, I don't know if you could do that now if you're holding the phone, but if you do that, it's the most amazing hug. It's better than any hug that anybody else can give you, giving a self hug. And again, that was in another yoga class. She just go into that position. I said, oh my gosh, this feels amazing, and I need to include this in the book.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's
Wow.
just a wonderful feeling. Yeah.
So an awesome 20-second hug, and it gives so many people so many good benefits. But we need to remember, we need to teach our kids, always ask before you give that hug. We don't want to.
Oh, yes. No. What we're talking, self-hug is different. When you're hugging others, that's a different story. But for the self-hug, you could absolutely do it, and you don't even have to ask permission.
Now, you are also the founder and CEO of the Extraordinary Lives Foundation. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Okay, well, we also call that ELF for an acronym. And it was started about 3.5 years ago. And one of our goals is to promote May as National Mental Health Awareness Month. Because right now, most people know that October is breast cancer awareness. And breast cancer, while very important, doesn't affect as many people as mental health. And to me, mental health, even if somebody experiences anxiety and fear, that's a mental health challenge. So I really feel that mental health affects all of us, either directly or indirectly. And my vision was to host events at all Major League Baseball stadiums. And this year, we're going to be at all California Major League Baseball stadiums and AAA. And we're really excited. And we're collaborating with some other mental health foundations, including Each Mind Matters, NAMI, Mental Health America. And in addition to that, our goal is to get the Power of Piggie Bear and the stuffed animals to raise funds and apply for grants to get the books and stuffed animals out to children that need them the most, including children in the hospital, foster kids, orphans, children that have been abused. And another goal with the book is to get into all kindergarten classes so that teachers can teach these tools to the children. Hopefully the children could even share them with their parents. And that it would make the class go a little, easier. And it's very fun when you're saying, not just calm down and let's do our breathing, but make it really fun. Like, let's do our Piggy Bear breathing now, class, and, things like that. And, so those are a lot of the goals of the organization.
What's been some of the feedback for folks that have read The Power of Piggie Bear?
It's been amazing, unbelievable. Everyone seems to love it. All the foundations that we reached out to, they love it. They want it. They want to co-write a grant with us to obtain funds to get it. They all adore it. We've spoken to some schools. They really love it. And we're actually hosting a comedy night fundraiser next month in Irvine, in Orange County, California, to raise funds to donate the books and bears to different children's foundations.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah, very excited with all the positive feedback that we've been getting.
Wow. Did you ever picture yourself at this point in your life writing a children's book and leading a foundation like this?
Absolutely not. That's such a funny question. Sorry. So I tell people that in college I majored in psychology and economics. And I used economics the first half of my life. I was working in banking, the office manager for my husband's medical office, and I've used all my skills that way. And then now it's like the psychology part is coming into it. And I guess my, my bipolar experience was really brought out my creative side. And so now I'm getting into a lot of things, that I never thought I'd be involved before, but I'm really excited, and each day brings new and exciting things, and I'm kind of just in the flow and, trying to live in the moment. There's a saying, if we live in the past, we experience depression. If we live in the future, we live in anxiety. So to live in the moment, sometimes it's really hard to do, and it's really hard to trust the universe, but it's been the most amazing thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What kind? Obviously, you've talked to us a lot about some of the immediate plans that you have, and certainly getting Major League Baseball and minor league baseball involved. What a great idea. What about the longer term goals for you and for the Power of Piggie Bear?
Longer term goals, definitely to write, create more books, write a series of books, definitely write about bullying, something for older children, just teaching them different things that I've learned throughout my, spiritual growth. And we also are looking to open a holistic healing center called HUG, H-U-G, which is like Piggy Bear Hug, but it also stands for healing, understanding, and growth. And, for people that have mental health challenges that are looking to heal, whether or not someone's on medication, the goal is not to be on medication for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. So helping them to heal or helping their children to heal and doing it through these amazing healers that I've encountered. And it's been great because, my husband being Western medicine physician, OBGYN, now that he's met with some of my healers and he's experienced some healing, he sends his patients there and it's just transformational. It's amazing. Wow. So that's something we really want to introduce, to the world, and also be a speaker out there, inspiring people with challenges not to be shy, and also look at the gifts, because my, diagnosis was my biggest gift. Mm-hmm. And it really transformed my life. So people could, look at some of the gifts, and while doing that, learn how to keep away the darkness that associates any gift.
You bring up something, and some people who hear about healing and kind of untraditional, or I guess they're more traditional, but they're, some of the more holistic type of healing. Sometimes people will kind of put it off and go, well, that's kind of woo-woo stuff, and I'm not really into that. But I'm wondering, you mentioned that your husband is a traditional Western doctor in Western medicine. Was it difficult for him when you started taking this approach? And what was it that kind of pushed him over to being supportive of it?
Well, at first, of course, he was scared during my episode and thought, it was crazy. And of course, I was having a wonderful experience. And then after he realized I was stable and everything and started doing some healing, he was very supportive of whatever healing I was doing. Because I was seeing a psychiatrist. It took me 1.5 years to wean off my meds. So I was doing Eastern and Western healing. But the biggest transformation, I think, for my husband was my husband hates being late to the airport. He wants to go to the airport 3 or 4 hours early. And he calls me self-centered because I don't want to get there that early. And I said, no, I'm not getting there that early just because you're all worried about it. So finally, the last time we were flying, my daughter said to him, Dad, why don't you go to the airport and we'll meet you there? And he kind of realized how ridiculous he was being, and he didn't leave early, and we all went together. And when we got home, I said, please come with me to the hypnotherapist and let's, have him and work with that. And it was amazing. It was just an amazing experience. And in one session, my husband's life transformed. And he released the energy that he took on from his father about being late, and it's been amazing. And again, when his patients said they have postpartum depression, instead of putting them on medication, he'll send them to our hypnotherapist, and they'll walk in crying and they'll walk out laughing.
Wow.
And so I guess my husband, finally getting him in to experience some of the healing himself, he says, I don't understand how it works, but it works. And that's the biggest thing, we don't have to understand everything. We don't know when we take a medication, we don't understand how it works exactly in our body, and that's okay, but we trust that it works. And, so that was huge.
Yeah. Well, tell folks where they can find and connect with you online.
Okay, great. Our website is www.el.foundation. I know it's a little different. There's no, it's .foundation. It's not .com or .net. And, you can find out information about the book, about the foundation. If anyone wants to reach out to me, there's a way to reach out on the website.
Cool. Yeah. And you also are, on Facebook?
Yes, we have the Extraordinary Lives Foundation, on Facebook. And we also have el.foundation on Instagram. We have great inspirational posts and posts about mental health challenges daily. So, yeah, definitely check it out.
Excellent. And where can folks buy The Power of Piggie Bear?
The Power of Piggie Bear is available on Amazon. And Piggy is spelled Piggie, not Piggy. And, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we want to encourage everybody to check out The Power of Piggie Bear. As our guest said, it's available on Amazon. And also check out the website, www.el.foundation. You have to spell out foundation. It's a different suffix, I guess, or extension. It's a different extension. And I just tried it, and it absolutely works. And the website is great, and there's all sorts of great information that you want to check out. Our guest tonight has been the author of The Power of Piggie Bear, Mara James. Mara, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great to speak with you.
Please be sure to join us for the next edition of the Reading with Your Kids podcast. We have an amazing guest on for you today. Our friends over at Familius Publishing, they have a beautiful series called Literature for Little Hands, or Lit for Little Hands. And we're going to be joined by the author of that series, Brooke Jordan. You do not want to miss this. Hey, if you're the author of a great children's book, you heard about the Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read program. Well, another great way to let the world know about your book is by being a guest on the show. Being a guest, it's fun, it's easy, and it is absolutely free. All you need to do is to visit our website, readingwithyourkids.com, click on the contact button, let us know about your great book. We'll let you know what goes next. Hey, want to thank Mara James for being here today, empowering us with the story of the Power of Piggie Bear. We also want to thank you. We want to thank you for a couple of things. First, we want to thank you for being with us today, for subscribing to the show, by letting your friends know about the show, by connecting with us on Twitter and Instagram and on Facebook. I want to thank you for sticking around after I say goodbye and listening to my friend Chris Hardy tell you about my great new book, The Great Maratini. And of course, as always, we want to thank you so very, very much for taking the time to make the world a better place by taking the time to read with your kids. I'll be looking for you in the next edition of the Reading with Your Kids podcast. This episode of the Reading with Your Kids podcast is brought to you by Jetley's award-winning children's book, The Great Maratini.
A very long time ago, there was a boy named Sam who liked to do his magic tricks, and he was quite the ham. He was called the Great Maratini, the best magician of his age, but his greatest feat took place far away from any stage. Every trick Sam tried to do would somehow come out wrong, but Sam just kept on going, and that's what made him strong. He was called the Great Maratini, the best magician of his age, but his greatest feat took place far away from any stage. One day as he traveled, he helped a stranger in need, and this was not a trick, oh no, but a magical good deed. He was called the Great Maratini, the best magician of his age, but his greatest feat took place far away from any stage. He was called the Great Maratini, the best magician of his age, but his greatest feat took place far away from any stage.
To get your autographed copy of the giant bilingual edition of The Great Maratini, please visit greatmaratini.com.